Hey guys, it's Katherine, and as you can tell from the title of this video, I'm going to be filming a fall DIY decorations video. And I'm so excited to be filming this video because I love fall. I got the sweater dress going, I got the dark lipstick, I have a candle burning. I love fall. So, all these decorations can be put around in your room or in your house or in your apartment, wherever you want to put them, okay? And they're really easy to do, and the inspiration for these decorations are off of Pinterest if you want to go see them there. If you do any of these DIYs, please make sure to take a picture and send it to me on Twitter or tag me in your Instagram picture. My Twitter and Instagram will be linked down below so you can do that. And that's it. So let's get on into this video. So you're going to need some mason jars, white brown paint with the sponge brushes, fake flowers, lots of them, sandpaper, and letter stencils. So I'm starting out by adding some white paint onto a paper plate and then taking my sponge brush, taking off the lid of the mason jar, and then I'm just going to paint the mason jar. So we're going to need to do 2 coats. So while we're waiting for the paint to dry, we're going to start cutting out our letters. Now it's important that you keep the white around the letters and not the black letter. Also, you should keep some white space around the letters so that we can hold it when we're holding it to the mason jar. Next, we're going to start cutting out the flowers. So you're going to need to cut the stems so that the flowers can fit in the mason jars. And then I'm just going to group them into 3 separate piles so that we can separate them for the vases. Once your mason jars are dry, you're going to take your brown paint, fill up some of it on a paper plate, and take another sponge brush. You're going to take your letter stencils, and this part is kind of messy and kind of tricky, so you're going to have to hold the paper and try to hold it down so that it doesn't leak underneath, which was kind of hard, as you can see. So I went back in with my sponge brush that had the white paint and kind of fixed the letters up. So it would be easier if you get letter stencils, but if you can't find some, like I couldn't, this is doable. Now to get a bit of a rustic look, I took the sandpaper and just sanded down some sides of the mason jar. The last step of this DIY is just to add the flowers to your vases. And you're done. I added some little orange fairy lights as an extra little touch, but this is a very cute DIY. So for this DIY, you're going to need fake pumpkins, sponge brushes, white paint, gold paint, or glue. So basically, you're just going to put some white paint on a plate and then just take your sponge brush and start painting your pumpkin. You're going to need to do 2 coats so that the orange doesn't show through. So now we're going to paint the pumpkin using the gold paint, and the gold paint isn't very opaque, so it's just going to add a little bit of shine to the pumpkin. Now we're going to take the glitter glue, and I'm basically just adding like polka dots to the pumpkin. You're going to see later on that the glitter glue didn't really stick to the pumpkin and it actually slips off, so I ended up just wiping down the bigger pumpkin. And these are your finished pumpkins. As you can see, it was very easy and fun to do. So for this DIY, you're going to need some mason jars, Mod Podge, sponge brush, fake or real candles, and leaf napkins. The first thing you're going to do is fold the napkin like I'm showing here and just rip the excess parts of the napkin. But make sure you keep those excess parts because we're going to need it later. Next, you're going to rip the corners out from the napkin. Now we're going to start applying the Mod Podge to the mason jar, and then we're just going to lift the napkin and stick it to the mason jar. As you can see, after lifting the napkin to the mason jar, you have some leftover bits sticking out. So you're going to need to peel those bits off, and that might create holes. Now we're just going to apply some Mod Podge over the napkin, and if there's any holes, we're going to take those leftover bits to the side and just patch up the hole. Next, I'm just going to take some of this string and wrap it around the mason jar and add a little bow. Finally, I'm going to take my fake candles, and I'm actually placing them with this kitchen tool so that they would stay proper. And here are the finished lanterns. So this DIY was also super easy, and it just adds a bit of coziness to a room. So I'm just taking this leaf garland and cutting off the leaves from it so that I would have a pile of leaves. And I'm basically just scattering them in different parts of my room just to add a little bit of the fall feel. Alright guys, so I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Let me know which DIY was your favorite, and like I said before, if you do any of these DIYs, please tweet me or tag me in your Instagram pictures. See you guys next video. Bye!